remiss if we didn't get into the footy. And I want to start by asking you guys a question. That you guys let's start with a few questions. The first one: who is going to be the first red card and sending off in the World Cup? And do you think it'll be in a group stage game? Eves.
I think it'll be a group stage game. I think it'll be a weaker team. I wouldn't be surprised it's Qatar. I wouldn't be surprised it's Iran. I wouldn't be surprised it's a country that is not necessarily used to playing football at a high pitch and is probably going to commit a mistake. In terms of a player that I know, like one of the top stars that potentially would get a red card, I wouldn't be surprised if someone in Netherlands. I don't know why. I feel like Netherlands are harsh tacklers. I wouldn't be surprised it comes from there. But I still
That's a fair point.
By what I said.
That's a fair point.
What about you, Josh? What's your take?
I just laughed because I just rewatched. You know how FIFA has been uploading like games from previous World Cups.
Yeah.
And I watched the Brazil. Was it the Brazil Holland game? No, it was the Netherlands versus, who were they playing? I've never seen such tackling before. Like, that was the game. I forgot what the game was now. I think it was against Argentina. They had the most yellow cards in one game, and there was a red card as well. So that's why I had just watched that game from the Netherlands, and then Eve brought up the Netherlands as a team that could be guilty as charged. So yeah, I don't even know in terms of. I was just thinking. I made the joke about is it Shaka from
Arsenal,
Switzerland? Yeah, from Arsenal. Yeah, that plays for. I feel like actually he's different when he plays for Switzerland. He's more mature.
He's also matured under Arteta the last 2 years.
Yeah, he's been more mature. So I don't know. I think I agree with Eve. It's gonna be one of these teams that playing against the likes of Messi. They're playing against the likes of Mbappe. They're gonna. Yeah, I think there's like you said, your Irans of this world that will definitely get a red card for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just gonna leave that there and say, I historically it's either Ramos or Pepe, who as a Real Madrid fan, I've had my experiences with them, and Pepe, that straight red he had in Brazil, arguably that was Portugal's opportunity to that was their golden era. But I honestly think it's going to be a team that is supposed to do well, but then starts off on a back foot. I don't know what that team will be, but Belgium is supposed to do well. England is supposed to do well. France is supposed to do well. That's all I'm going to say. So watch out.
Well, it could be France.
When you want to talk about hard tacklers, Argentina
could be France
has been historically. Go ahead, Yves.
Yeah, it's a good point as well, Argentina. But this is live, so we're obviously recording this as of we're on the 19th. We're the 19th, so we're Saturday, and it's official. Benzema is actually officially injured and at risk of the World Cup. It just broke out.
It just broke out. Oh no! I know he was. I know.
Meaning, France could definitely be the first country to already have the FIFA curse, as I've always talked about. It's a big risk.
Was it? Because I was watching L'Equipe and they were talking about that the other day about Benzema and what was that player's name? They were saying if there's no confirmation by I think this weekend, they said by Friday, then you need to start looking at your alternatives.
Oh,
that's what they were saying on the show.
Did Varane make it? Did Varane make it?
Varane made it, but Benzema is questionable as of tonight.
Yeah.
Whether he's going to be for the rest of the World Cup. I mean, I knew he was already flaky because he had an injury, but I didn't expect that he would be officially out for Australia. Like I said,
is that Real Madrid fans were saying that he's choosing France over Real Madrid. Get out of here, man. And this goes to show you. And I couldn't believe that nonsense was coming through. And again, it's that social media. It's probably a lot of quote unquote Real Madrid fans who were saying this stuff, who don't know Real Madrid, who don't know soccer. It was very unfortunate that was the sentiment coming out of
you can't say that. Yeah, that's a very poor thing to say. Like the World Cup is, that's the one thing that players will play injured if they can. The World Cup,
Exactly. So
they'll play injured
that's
if they
anybody
can.
who's
It's a
saying
once
that.
in a lifetime opportunity.
Anybody who says that hasn't played football. You know that when you're representing your
Yeah.
country, everything is above all. So, like I
I know.
said,
Sorry,
my point is,
even with that, remember when you were a kid, the first time you kicked a soccer ball and scored a goal, it was always you dreaming about it's the World Cup finals. No one is
Yeah.
dreaming about Champions League final.
Nope.
At least as a kid, I don't know about the new generation, but as a kid, the first time you scored the goal in your head, you were dreaming about the World Cup finals, carrying
Yeah.
the World Cup like
It's
Pele.
true. It's
That's
true.
how you dreamt about it. So anyone that comes and talks about a player choosing the World Cup over their club, that person needs to look themselves in the mirror. So anyway, sorry, Eve, you can go ahead.
no, I was just saying it's a valid point. I was just saying that's probably the biggest news. So for me, it puts France at big risk of a FIFA curse. Which, for those who don't know, the FIFA curse is any previous winner of the World Cup gets kicked out of the group stage in the new World Cup, which happened to France
The
already, having
immediate
won in
previous winner,
'98.
the holders, the
Exactly.
holders of the
Yeah,
World Cup.
Exactly.
The
The
the reigning
holder
champs.
gets
Yeah.
kicked out. The winning champ gets kicked out
in
normally
the group
in the
stage.
previous World Cup. In the group stage,
Usually in the
what
group
it
In the
is.
group
So
stage,
having
and we
said
lost,
that,
and France lost in Cuckoo. And
exactly.
I
So
have to
having said
say
that,
this, and I have to say this, Eves, you know, and I know you're you're a France and Danish fan, coming from those two ancestrally, but I have to say this, man. I think I posted it in the group. They looked at to show the France roster and where those people are actually, where their family is actually from, and where
Oh, true.
what their nationality actually is. Even Giroud being Italian, you know, and it's interesting, right? I was saying when France wins, everybody wins. So don't worry about it, man. When France loses, we all lose.
well,
All those
it's
people
just
who aren't in the World Cup also lose, man.
of course, of course. I mean, but it's just sad because France already went through this in '98 when they won the first World Cup, and then they got kicked out in 2002 in South Korea. So I'm hoping that this is temporarily, and we'll still make it through. We still have an amazing squad on paper. We can't say anything. We had a worse squad in the in the World Cup in 2018 when not all these players were experienced and they became beasts. Now it's a different bread, right? We expect
Hey,
France to perform. We
glass
expect a
half
lot of
full.
things.
At least glass half full. At least you're not like Italy, where when you win and then you don't even make the next World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So
RIP to
at least you got it.
Italy. Shout out to Italy, RIP. We take the yellow
Oh
card for you
my
guys.
God.
I'll take a
Anyways,
yellow card for
so
that. I'm
I'm
showing
gonna
my
I'm
Italian
gonna
brothers and sisters.
I'm gonna do a quick fire round. You both have a split second to answer. So,
All right.
Group A, we got Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. Who's gonna be first? Jeff.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Come on, Jeff. Come on,
You
Jeff.
gotta look at
Time,
this.
time, time.
Say that again. Who's in that group?
Sorry,
Qatar,
guys.
Qatar,
I need to look at this
Ecuador,
bracket here.
Senegal, Netherlands. Group A. Who's gonna win the group?
Senegal, Ecuador, Qatar, Netherlands.
Yeah, who's gonna win the group? Who's gonna be first?
I think Netherlands, but they're going to be pushed to the end of the day by England. By Ecuador.
All right, Josh. Quick fire. Come on, you heard it.
Okay, I was gonna say Senegal, but the fact that Mane's their shining light and him being out, that could be a disaster. That could just put their morale down. So I would say the Netherlands, and I would still go with Senegal. They could still have a fighting spirit. So I will go with Senegal.
All right, cool. I say
What about you,
Ecuador.
Reeves?
All right, Ecuador.
Oh, Ecuador. Okay. All right.
Group B,
All right.
England, Iran, US, Wales. Who's first?
It's got to be
Jeff, go ahead.
England. It's got to be England.
England.
I don't see. I think they're going to bomb out at some point, but I think England can come out of there. And then second, it's between Iran and US. Iran is going through a lot right now. I think that'll hopefully push them through, but also it could also break them. So that's why I said it's Iran or US for second.
Seeing the entire team is just men, I don't think they fully understand what's going to happen. So I'd say, on my end, it's going to be England first, Wales second. US and Iran don't make it. Josh?
I do. I got a second Eve on that. I'll say England first and Wales because I think Bale Bill is something different when he plays for Wales, and I think Wales, they just have a team that they have a fighting spirit. I think the U.S. right now.
Forget Bale. Forget Bale. I
Yeah,
think
forget
it's
Bale,
football.
please. He's
Football.
useless.
I think it's football experience. I don't think Wales is going to appreciate losing the U.S. They're going to show them what football is, and I don't think England would allow the U.S. to take that home. So the only
But you forget,
game
I think Wales plays England first, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
No, England plays Iran first.
No, Wales plays. Yeah. No, wait.
England.
I don't know. Actually,
so Wales plays US
England
first.
plays Iran.
That first game is going to
Monday.
decide who comes in second.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
You think?
All right. We're going to move on. We're going to move on because we got a lot of groups. So Group C, we'll start off with Josh. So Josh, listen to me. Who's going to be first? Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland.
This is a really tough group. This is a really tough one. Not really tough.
Come on,
It's supposed to be a fire round. It's supposed to be a fire round.
Okay, sorry, fire round. Okay, I'm saying Argentina. Definitely Argentina.
Okay.
And with Bielsa coming in, I'm going to say Poland.
All right, Jeff, go ahead.
Easy. Argentina, Poland second. It's not even a competition.
All right. I say Poland first, Argentina second. I think Argentina will struggle to find their feet.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, if they are second, they are on the left side. They face France. If they're first, they're on the right side. They face Brazil. So it'll be interesting. Having said that, if Brazil finish first and if France finish first. So interesting 16th round. So Group D, we got France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia. Jeff, go ahead.
France.
Fire round,
I think
20-minute round.
You know what's interesting with the update of Benzema out, it does raise some questions. But Giroud, he was informed in Milan, and he seems to still have a significant role to play. I think he can carry the weight. I say France comes out top, but I say they only edge Denmark in second by 1 point.
Okay, interesting. Josh.
Definitely. I'm gonna go with Denmark first. I'm looking.
You're
at
just trying
France
to be different,
now.
Man.
Sorry.
So you're just trying to be different.
No. I'm going based on France's last few performances, and I'm that midfield is not looking convincing, and now we've lost Benzema. So I'm going to go with Denmark. Denmark is looking more of a complete team right now. And then France come in second.
All right, interesting. I love both nations, but seeing the recent news and the recent performance, like Josh, seeing that Denmark destroyed France in the summer or in September, I'll say Denmark first, France, and Denmark edges France by like 1 point. I think the next country will be Tunisia, which will have a strong one. Australia will completely bomb it. Let's move on. Group E, Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, Japan. All right, it's a fire round, guys. So let's move. Yeah, Josh, you're up.
This was another tricky one too, but I'm going with Spain top in this group. I'm liking the football they're playing, and then Germany. Yeah, it's got to be Germany second.
Okay, Jeff.
Jeff, you there?
My bad. I was saying that I completely disagree. I don't think Spain has been playing that great of football. They haven't figured out what they're doing up at the top for Torres. And we have.
I knew Jeff was going to bring that up.
We have Asensio, who again for me is not a starter in any team, national or otherwise. And then you have Ansu Fati, who does not know what's left from his right. I don't know what he was doing in that game. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Jordan. Just bad decisions on the shooting. I think they're going to waste a lot of chances, whereas Germany, they are the efficiency of efficiency. Germany tops it, Spain second, but I think Japan is going to push everybody to the last day.
Okay, interesting. I'll go with speculation. Group E will have the first big boy out. I think Costa Rica will be second, Germany will be first, Spain kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Group F.
Oh.
Group F.
Belgium, whoa! You can't just jump like that, man. You gotta give us a little bit of meat on that bundle of bones, bro. What's Costa Rica showing you, and what's Spain not showing you?
I think I think Costa Rica. I think the South American teams are showing me a lot more right now because they haven't had to go through a full Prem calendar and La Liga calendar. I think the
Remember,
South American
Costa Rica
teams
is not
are.
South America. They're Central America, man. Don't get that twisted.
It's because he's. Hey, you
I'm not getting it twisted. I'm not getting it twisted.
I know his reasoning,
I'm
but
not getting twisted.
His geography doesn't go that
I'm not
far.
getting it twisted. Not getting twisted. I'm saying anything lower than Mexico should be considered South American. It's Central America, but it should be considered South American. No disrespect to anyone. Not about politics. It's just a bucket.
But just technically, Central America is not its own continent, right? So
Yeah,
it's North America.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
facts. Yeah, I was not
We'll be
talking
a
about
little
the
bit more
geographical
politically
location. I
correct
just
for
meant in
Josh.
terms of I understand
We'll
the
be a little
South
bit more
American teams
politically.
are hard to beat.
I'd say South American teams are very, very hard to beat. I think Spain and Germany both suffer from playing long games, long, absolute, horrendous calendars. In theory, on paper, it should be Germany versus Spain. But traditionally, we've known that no World Cup goes as planned. I think that Spain could be the first one out. I potentially see them having a tough time versus Costa Rica and Germany. I think Germany right now, since it's copy-paste buy-in, they should be fine. Japan, bless their heart, you guys won't make it. It's just the way I see it. If you do make it, it's really a narrow win. Costa Rica, I think, could be very dangerous and a surprise.
I will say that I like Germany's coach. I like their system. Everybody is tired, but they're all jumping into a system that they all know. Same thing with whereas Spain, a lot of them they don't all play at Barcelona. They don't all play that type of football. I don't think they'll all jump into it as quickly, and that's why I brought up that point. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I think Spain. If it was a summer and everybody had completed a wonderful year, I'd say great. But Spain is, yeah. I think Spain could be in trouble. On paper, they look great, but they don't have a striker. They're still struggling with that. I don't know who's a strike. I think Enrique is a great coach, but I'm not too sure Spain can beat Germany. If it was really tight between Costa Rica and Germany, I'm not too sure Spain could beat Germany, and that could be a deciding factor. So this is why I think we may have our first boy out, because Group E for me is the most threatening group.
Okay.
Understood. Can we move on? Cool.
Yeah, let's move on to the next group of death.
Group F. Let's go. Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia. Let's hand it over to Josh since he was so trying to be politically correct. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see how he goes.
To the true north. The true north over here. Well, oh gee, this is a tough one. Obviously, as usual, kind of like the
Josh,
France,
if you say Canada first, I'm giving you your first.
No, definitely. I'm going for Belgium first, and then Canada second. And the reason, obviously, Belgium is Belgium. They've got Kevin De Bruyne. They've got a aging squad, but they still have enough experience in their belt to top this group. The reason I'm picking Canada over Croatia, I think Croatia, we saw in the Euros that they were on their last legs. And if Canada can stay in the game and not let Croatia score early, I think Canada has a great chance of beating Croatia in that game to get that second spot. It's definitely a tricky group. That's all emotions right here. But yeah, from the football that I'm seeing, right. I think Canada is going to clinch the second spot.
All right, Jeff, you're up.
Wow, this is the toughest one for me. I've had multiple bracket tournaments that I have different. Group F is one of the only ones that I have different ones each time. I think contrary to what E said, I think Group F is going to have the first big team disappointment. You are going to see that Belgium is going to drop out. Kevin De Bruyne in that last game, he looked tired. I don't know, maybe he had the FIFA fear. But also they can't rely on Thibaut Courtois. He was injured for most of it. He still seems like he's not fully 100%. He's not going to be able to save them, and they don't have a good defense. I think Belgium loses out. I think Croatia will top it because Croatia is a team. They've always shown they're a team. They know that they're not favorites, whereas Belgium will have that pressure on them, much like France and England in their groups. I see Croatia topping it out, and I see Canada battling it out with Morocco on the last days, and Canada making it out on top. I think Canada has the ability to beat Belgium, Belgium loses out on the fact they don't have the firing power. Hazard isn't there. Hazard is still 5 years in the past. And then
Lukaku's
also you
injured.
don't have Lukaku, right? You have a lot of issues in Belgium's attack, whereas Croatia, Perisic, he's doing well in Tottenham. He's in form, and of course the wonder that is the magician Luka Modric is going to do well. And again, their defense have been playing together for a minute, and they're not. People forget they're not actually that old. In the team, they have some pretty good depth. It's just that people that we don't know yet. So, anyways, Croatia number 1, Canada second. I think Morocco pushes Canada to the last day.
All right, interesting. All right, I don't think a big boy will come out of this one. When I say big boy, I mean in the, let's just say, semifinals round or quarterfinals round. I think it'll be Belgium first, and I'm kind of tempted to say Morocco second. I think Morocco has a lot more firepower
Yo,
than
Eve, you've been on this Morocco game for a long time.
He has been.
Yeah, he's been. I don't know if it's because his special someone is from Morocco.
Well, because of my special someone, I was forced to watch their games, and I can say that they're actually much better than I expected. So I would say that they're a little bit of a surprise. If I had to put it on paper, it'd be Canada, but I actually think the surprise will be Morocco. I think Canada have a strong team. If I would really, really want to speculate, I'd say Canada first, Morocco second, and Belgium is effectively out.
I was leaning on that, man. I was leaning on Canada, Morocco making it out. I didn't know
Belgium.
If Canada and Morocco make it out, I don't know who's going to be top. Let me put it that way.
Correct. Yeah, correct. I think that if Belgium are smart, this is the last stand. It really is the last stand. Jordan style. This is it. All guns blazing, or nothing else. You guys missed out on the Euro. You guys missed out on the World Cup. If you don't go guns blazing on this one in the first couple of games, I think this is it. You've seen Belgium past their prime. It's it. So it's all up to them. Seeing how they perform in the Prem, seeing how some of these players actually have talent, Tiedemann, De Bruyne, and so forth. I would see them first, and I would say Morocco second as a surprise, but Canada is damn strong. I just fear Canada might not have that enough experience. That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
What I'll challenge you. You know what Trump's experience? Heart and organization. True. Canada has that. It's one thing the African teams don't have both of. They have some of them have sometimes their experience. They always have heart, and they never have organization. But I want to say is with Belgium, their defensive midfield is non-existent. Tielemans and De Bruyne are not defensive midfield players, and they don't have the attack in the front in order for them to put away the chances that they're going to give their teams. You can't rely on those two to give you last goals from outside the box always. Belgium does not have the width to be able to play the way he plays in Manchester City. And again, coaching. Belgium's coach, Martinez, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I said, difference of opinion. I respect it. It can go both ways with Belgium. On paper, I still say Belgium first and then Morocco second. If I really had to speculate, it would be...
Even if you don't respect me, I respect you.
Yeah.
We all respect each other.
And I wanted to say to just quickly add that too for the Canadian viewers that are going to be watching the World Cup. I think that Morocco game is going to be the most frustrating game that we're going to have because that's the game we're going to see on paper thinking, oh yeah, we can beat Morocco, and then it's just going to be that.
Yeah, it's more like
watch out for Morocco.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the tough game for Canada. I think. So
yeah, watch out for Hakimi. He's not as shit as everybody thinks. He's a good player.
Yeah,
great player. And then Canada, like I said,
right?
I think the hottest
Hakimi, the right back, playing as an attack for his national team, and then you have Davies, the left back, playing as an attack for his national team. That's it's going to be a good match. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah,
that's like remember like Herman Crespo back? No, not Crespo. What was that Mexican goalkeeper's name for back in the 90s? That used Campos.
Oh no,
remember Campos? He used to be a goalkeeper and the penalty kick taker as well.
Really?
I'm taking it way back in the 90s.
What's funny about these World Cups is that you tend to go with the traditional winners, and it doesn't make it at all because you have such diversity. In the Euro, you kind of know where you're standing because it's it's a lot smaller groups, right? It's half the groups, right? Here we got a lot more groups. Therefore, If I look on paper, Belgium should make it, and Canada should be second. If I look on paper, but traditionally, you just throw out the paper, and it's not exactly what happens. I think Belgium will still make it as the last stand, and I think Morocco will come in second. I think the most interesting game is definitely Canada-Morocco. I do not see any other game that's the most interesting besides that one. Why? Because young core, heart, and soul are both in the team. I think Belgium, they're locked
they're
up
very
in their
organized.
head. Correct. And Croatia is just somewhere in the clouds.
They're organized. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Anyway, we spent too much time on Group F.
Sorry, I just want to quickly. Sorry, we got to quickly add.
We got to move on, Josh. We got to move on.
I'm going to go really quick, really quick. I like what you said about the whole. We like to predict the big teams winning it, because I think, like you said, football has become very global to the point now that we have in other areas of the world getting good at the sport. Right? Mourinho even said it. If African players just play with their teams, we'll be seeing a lot more African teams winning it. And also, it also shows you in that. What was that documentary on Netflix with?
I don't agree on that. I think African
maybe
players,
not the Mourinho one. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Because I think that if African players stick with their nation, somehow they just can't get organized because it comes down to the coach. If African nations would actually just shut the F up and actually hire coaches that are just pure talent as well, instead of trying to go somewhere where they're not meant to be, I think African players are the most lethal players in the game.
That's what Mourinho was saying, right? The problem is that
Mourinho is saying
the African players are choosing to play for their adopted countries because they're FAs. It's not necessarily the coaches, the FAs that are garbage. And so when even if they can get a good coach, the coach is not going to stay because they get frustrated.
That's my point.
Yeah, okay. So then so you agree with Mourinho's point then?
I agree with Mourinho. I totally agree with Mourinho. What I don't agree is that I don't think it should be happening until those FAs like re-ramp, because some of these it's like watching,
it's just a pipe dream.
You understand?
It's a pipe dream.
Yeah,
it's a pipe dream.
But I totally agree.
If
90% of these African players had actually stayed with their whole nation, I mean, we would see the first African World Cup. We'd probably see the second African World Cup and third African. I mean, it would be endless. But because the FAs are so corrupt and these players are choosing their second nation, it's because, well, I don't have any chance over there. It's so corrupt. I'm not even sure what's going on anymore. I totally agree with Mourinho. What I don't agree is that the advice should keep going. I think some of these African nations, their FAs are so corrupt and so are bleeding so much that you're destroying kids deliberately, and it's just going to keep going. I think they really need to look at themselves before anything changes. But it is a shame. It is a shame. When I see the French team, how much talent there is that could be on an African team, it's just sad.
Even England, France.
Oh yeah, even England. I mean, Germany. I'm just taking one nation, but yeah.
Even Spain now with Ansu Fati and Iñaki Williams is playing for Ghana, but his brother Nico Williams is playing for Spain. Like, does that make any sense? You know what I'm saying? Right?
Well, you're based on
that needs to stop.
Skill, right? But that's what happens. Yeah.
All right, gents.
Well, if they're not good enough, right? They end up going for their home, for the home country, right? It depends on if they're good enough or not. Kind of like the Hernandez for Spain, the French
Hernandez brothers.
One had to go for Spain. But anyway, sorry, Yves. Yeah, we can move on.
So you finished your point? All right, cool. Group G. All right, Group G. It's going to be the easiest one because it's not the most complicated one. I won't choose Josh because he spoke too much, so I'll choose Jeff. Jeff, you're starting.
Group F was special, G. Okay? Group F was special.
It was only special. It was only special because it had a country that starts with a C in there. That's otherwise it wasn't special.
There's two countries that start with C. You got to be more specific.
So, and they both end with A's too. So
I'll cut the Group F talk. Group G. Brazil,
Group G.
Top it.
Brazil, Serbia. Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. Let's give love to the African team here. It can't be that bad. We have to choose an African team, guys. We cannot let an African team say they're out of the World Cup.
Well, we might get there. We might get to Group A. But
I picked Senegal for Group A.
Oh yeah, but you only picked it on the basis of money, so that wasn't really straightforward, was it, Josh? We're calling you out.
No, I said I wasn't sure about them because Mane was out, but I said, you know what, the team could actually play for Mane and have that could get them over the line.
Yeah, I don't see any African team. We're gonna play for a guy who's injured because it was just playing soccer. Maybe if he had a car accident or something.
Yeah, like what
But,
happened with Ericsson, then it's a whole different story.
yeah, exactly. It's very different. It's something that was completely out of his control and is heartbreaking. Come on, he got injured playing because you didn't need to play him in that game. Sorry, I digress. Group G, Brazil is going to top
Group
it.
G.
Brazil is going to top it.
Who's second? Who's second?
It's tough, man. It's tough. I think Serbia is underrated. I think Serbia has a size that people is going to find tough to play against. And I don't see Cameroon as being that organized. Choupo-Moting is in form, which is going to be great for them. Honestly, I see it being Brazil, and you know what? I'm just going to throw it in there, Brazil and Cameroon, just because you brought it up. But I think Serbia is probably going to be the one to come out second.
All right, I'll go second since Josh spoke too much. So I'm gonna do Brazil and Serbia. And then Josh, you can go, but you have 6 seconds. 6 seconds, Josh. 6 seconds.
Okay, yeah. No, obviously Brazil first, and then you're right. Serbia is a tough one, and on Switzerland, I still have nightmares from the Switzerland-France game in the Euros. So Switzerland is one of those teams that could wake up and beat any team on a good day. So, but I'm gonna go with Serbia because there's always gonna be a dark horse in every tournament, and I think they're gonna be a dark horse. So I'm gonna go Brazil and Serbia.
The only group, might I add, which we categorically all agree on, technically on the paper. But anyways, move to Group H, the most talked about group due to the recent events. Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, Korea. And when I mean Korea, I mean Korea Republic. Let's be clear on that one. So South Korea. So, Josh, you can kick off.
Okay, this is you're right. I think this was the group of death, I believe, when the
it is the group of death. Yeah.
It is the group of death. Okay, awesome. I would definitely say, I want to say Uruguay. Uruguay is going to top the group. They have not lethal, but they have a very good front three. And Uruguay is one of those teams, kind of like Eve's reasoning. South American teams are they've formidable. So that, I guess that's the word to use. And then second, I want to say very close is going to be between Portugal and Ghana, but I'm just going to say Portugal just because. Sorry, Jeff. I think Portugal might nick this one.
You don't have to apologize. I know how you Nigerians roll. I know what you're doing.
Also nightmares too. Also just pissed off.
All right,
as
Jeff.
Well.
You're up, Jeff.
Uruguay topping the group. This is what I want. I think on paper Portugal should, but I think their first game they're going to drop points because of the pressure that is on them as a country, as a nation of sports legends and of sports stars that are playing. You got Silva, you got Cancelo, you have Mendes, Pepe, you have from front to back they are stacked. Depth is my problem with Portugal, and that's why I say Uruguay. And for me, I think that Ghana will come out. I think it'll be Uruguay and Ghana. And the only reason why I say Ghana is 5% because I'm Ghanaian, but it's 95% because Ghana has been playing like a team for once. They may not have the firepower, but with Inaki Williams, it gives us that pace, that ability to counterattack. We have Partey in the midfield, which is going to be very, very crucial. Partey for us is the equivalent of De Bruyne to Belgium. Difference is he can play defense, and so I see that our spine is going to be quite strong. But I think it'll be a Uruguay Ghana outcome, and I could be wrong, but if I am, it'll be Portugal. It'll be Uruguay and Portugal.
All right, interesting. All right, I'm definitely going to go with Uruguay first. As much as I think all the speculation with Portugal, I think if anything, it's going to unite them. I say Portugal second. As much as I want to put Ghana or Korea in that position, I got to be honest. It's the group I have the least knowledge on. I haven't seen one Korean game outside of knowing Sun, and I haven't seen one game from Ghana outside of knowing Jeff. So I have no clue who's from both teams, and it's my bad on that one, guys. If you guys end up making second, just know that I love football and it had nothing to do. I just don't have the time to watch all these countries.
You know what it is. Real quick, you know what it is about Korea, and it's not that Korea is a bad team. Again, this is the group of death. This is the group where if you take any one of these teams and put them in the other groups, they have a chance to make it to be second or first, right?
Yeah.
That's including Korea. Now, my thing with Korea is I can't see them being. They don't have the size. They don't have the strength. They're well organized. They're really technical. And they're mentally strong. I just don't see them being physically athletic and strong enough to go up against a Uruguay, a Portugal, and a Ghana. Back to back. That's where it all falls down for me. Uruguay, they're strong. They're South American. Again, they had to go through Brazil. They had to go through Costa Rica. They had to go through Argentina to get here. Portugal, again, they're just a team of stars. They're very athletic. They're very technical, and they play at the top level, majority of them. And that's why, for me, I see Korea being last. But I think this group is going to have the total lowest number of points across all of them. It's going to all be separated by no more than 2 points between all four of them.
Right.
This is going to be a tough
Interesting.
I had a quick question.
So,
quick question. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, quick. Okay, well, are they doing it kind of like the Euros, where there's also going to be the best place, like third team that qualifies?
I think so, right? I think so. They have to.
They are.
They have to.
They are. Okay, I thought
right?
so.
So that's why it's going to be critical to play.
Yeah.
And I like that because that last game sometimes ends up being like a wash. And so Group E, Group F, Group D, Group where is it? Group C, where you have the top two most favorite teams playing each other in the last game. Those games are going to be so crucial. So crucial. So we're going to see. And there could be some injuries that will impact those games, right? Like everything that we're predicting right now is on paper and is based upon current form. Things could happen. Just like Benzema is not making it and Nkunku injured in training. Who knows what might happen tomorrow or the next couple of days or the next week or two.
Correct. We shall see. Last question, guys, before we close it off. You can hear the rules of the game. You've heard your picks. I hope you remember your picks. You can only pick one dark horse for the entire competition that you have to follow throughout the podcast. So think about it. I'm going to give the opportunity for Josh to go first.
Well, before Josh says this, what define a dark horse? Is it somebody who isn't in our top two?
Someone that's not in let's just say someone that's not a team that's not finishing, that's guaranteed not to be in the World Cup final.
Oh, interesting.
A dark horse you have to follow that's guaranteed not to be in the World Cup final. Josh, you got to go first, my friend. Come on, let's be honest. We know Qatar's not going to the final unless they pay every single team $8 million. I don't see how.
So I had I've had three options. I had Uruguay, Serbia, and Canada as the dark horses. But now you have to.
I'll give you Canada. Sold.
But no, I want to go with Serbia as well. Actually, you know what?
All right, you have to follow Serbia the entire time. Just saying, you have to follow Serbia. That means you have to watch Serbian games. So you might add that to your list of jerseys.
Now I want to switch to Uruguay now. Oh my God.
Anyway, I guess you picked Canada. That settles it.
Yeah, I'll just go with Canada. I'll go with Canada.
Jeff, go ahead. What is your dark horse that's guaranteed not to be in the World Cup final as of now?
On paper, they're guaranteed not to be in the World Cup final.
On paper, guaranteed.
I mean, Uruguay doesn't count then because on paper they can make it to the World Cup final.
I was going to tell Josh, I hate to break his heart, but I was going to take Uruguay out of the equation anyway because I think they do have that potential. So it has to be on paper a team that cannot go to the final. I can call them out, but I think you guys know more football than all of us together, right? So I think we're good.
Oh, man, that's tough, man. That's really, really tough because I was going to say either Denmark or Ghana. I
would go even further. I would go even further.
Yeah.
Guaranteed teams that are not going to go on the World Cup final. Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands, Iran, U.S., Wales, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia, Costa Rica, Japan, Canada, Morocco, Croatia, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon, Korea Republic, Ghana.
Do you think
lot of
Croatia is on
teams.
that list though?
You think Croatia? Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I think Croatia. I don't think
They
it.
can sneak their way
Not to
through,
go to the
man.
World
You
Cup?
never know.
No.
Well,
It's
if you're
just-
gonna talk
it's
like
history
that, then we
told
gotta
us.
throw England in there too, because
England won it. England won it. You got to give it to them. Uruguay
Croatia has
won
been in
two.
they've been in two
Uruguay
finals,
won
right?
two.
Croatia.
England is never.
Okay, but yeah, I
Only
see what
one
you're saying. I
semifinal.
guess.
Only one semifinal and one.
Oh yeah,
final.
in France
That's it.
'98. Yeah, that's true.
Correct.
And
One
then,
semifinal, one final. And remember, they had a great core. This core is beat up.
Wait,
On paper,
who?
there's just no chance. Croatia.
Who? Oh, Croatia.
Back in 2018, and also during the days of
On paper, they had a
David
great
Suka
team in 2018.
98.
Great team. Yep. Now it's no
But
longer the
again,
case.
England has only ever made it to the final. They've never won it, so they should count because they always.
No, they've
flop.
won a World Cup.
They've won one
One,
World
two,
Cup.
66.
They have
Right,
one
they've won
already.
one World Cup.
Yeah.
So they can't be they can't be part of this because they actually have a stacked team this year, and they
And
went
they're
to the
favorites,
final.
right? They're
almost-
one of the favorites
and
to
they-
win. So
Correct, and they did so well in the Euro, you would think they repeat. So, like I said, my question repeats. We're just dragging this. So go ahead, Jeff. I'm waiting.
Oh man, there is a lot, like you said. And if I'm to follow any team, consistently throughout that I'm gonna pick, then you know what? I'm gonna keep it very simple. I'm going to pick Denmark.
Well done. Yep, I would have said Denmark as well.
Yeah, it was between Ghana and Denmark, like I said, but I'm gonna pick Denmark. I think if
You
I was
can
to
pick Ghana.
name
There's no
three-
wrong.
if you allow me to name three, Denmark, Ghana, Serbia. Those would be the three.
well, you gotta.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'll rather.
Then I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick. Then I'm gonna pick Denmark, and you pick Ghana, and Josh picks Canada. So we have three favorite nations that we're all
There
going
we
to
go.
follow throughout. Because
Yeah,
I think
all three
these
of us
three
will follow
will be
Canada,
the
Ghana,
dark
and
horses.
Denmark. Let's do that.
Okay, but if
All right,
our
cool.
teams don't make it out the group stage, then we have to pick another dark horse as well.
Yeah, I mean, once the group stage
Okay, I
is
guess
over,
after the group stage, then it's kind
we'll
of
revisit
yeah.
this when the group stage is over.
Okay.
Cool.
And if Ghana,
Whoever
Denmark, and Canada
whoever
are
makes it
out, we'll
further.
have to figure this out.
Whoever makes it further buys dinner. Just saying.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
man.
I guess we have a dinner date either in Paris or Toronto.
It was definitely happening in Paris.
Correct.
Come on,
Correct.
don't say ridiculous things. Why would we have one in Toronto?
Oh, or should I say Niagara Falls?
Why would we have one in Canada when we have the option of going to Europe? Come on.
Oh,
All right, boys. That
definitely
closes
been
off
fun,
the World
guys.
Cup. We start tomorrow at 5 here, local time in Paris. First
Yeah.
game is
And,
Qatar playing an opening.
If you're gonna have any
We
watch
have no
parties,
clue who's singing.
if you're gonna have any watch parties, take pictures, represent your countries, represent the teams you support, and as always, everybody be safe, drink responsibly, eat responsibly. Don't go too ham on those chili dogs and all those other pizza pockets and microwave oven dishes. And of course, as always, be nice to each other.
And I wanted to add
Support the
speaking
game.
of-
Support the game.
Yeah. And I wanted to say, speaking of drinking responsibly, the Ontario government, which Ontario is a province in Canada, has announced that bars and restaurants are allowed to serve alcohol from 7 a.m. during the World Cup. So
Because
drink
what?
up
It's
then.
8-hour difference between us and Qatar, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yep. And kickoff Qatar versus Ecuador is 11 a.m. Central Time. Eastern Time here in Canada. So yeah, definitely gonna be fun. And I guess the next time we talk, it's gonna be round 2 of the fixtures. The next time we
Correct.
have a podcast.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. The group stage should be finished by then.
In 2 weeks? I guess
Yep.
in 2 weeks. Yeah, it should be. Okay.
It should be done. Oh, and the last thing I will say though is if you're in the Western Hemisphere, be responsible with when you're watching, because your your companies are watching you.
Fair enough.
If you're
Fair
gonna
enough.
watch it, I recommend a bathroom break or you're sick.
Yeah.
Well, I think in Canada, when Canada is playing, I don't think anybody's going to be working for those 90 minutes. I think it's safe to say that most people, especially if your job allows it,
working from
I
home
think
will
you're
be those
not really
days.
going to be watching. Yeah, I think everyone's going to be tuned in.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You're going to see hashtag WFH is going to be trending on all social media accounts in Canada one of those days.
Pretty much. But anyways, guys, it's definitely been fun. Like I said, this is the first Winter World Cup. It's officially here, and we are looking forward. Please continue to like and share the podcast. It's on every platform that you take in any podcast content, from Spotify to Apple Podcast. So till next time, guys, stay safe.
Peace.